Road to the Top is a 4-episode anime series released on the PakaTube YouTube channel. It is part of the Uma Musume franchise, about racing horse girls whose stories are based on the real-life history of the Japanese race horses who share their names. The show is high quality and looks like a movie at some points, with smoother animation and more dynamic racing scenes with more effects. It tells a story with less fluff, so more time is focused on specific characters. This time, the story focuses on 3 horse girl hopefuls who are all trying to race toward Triple Crown glory. That means winning 3 specific high-level G1 races in a single season. Specifically, the Satsuki Show, Nippon Derby, and Kika Show that took place during 1999 in real life. The 3 horses/horse girls are called Narita Top Road, Admire Vega, and TM Opera O. There are also 3 main supporting characters who act as companions. They are called Kuren-chan, Meisho Doto, and Oguri Cap. Narita Top Road has her father as a trainer and has a more generic story about growing up while training to race and overcoming obstacles like finding out who she is and what her specific style of running is at around the same time. Admire Vega is a darker character. She is more of a loner and races out of an obligation to be the best because she has a sister who died very young and is not able to race. Admire Vega is also linked to her by some almost supernatural connection that both torments her and spurs her to go on. You might see TM Opera O as more of a comic relief. While Top Road is light-hearted yet focused and serious, Admire Vega is sad and melancholy. Opera likes to flaunt, is very theatrical, and talks about destiny and other grandiose things. She is a determined runner, if not a bit prideful. Due to her flamboyantness, she is very likable and memorable. Being teamed up with the adorable Meisho Doto helps a lot, and Opera seems to be the favorite of the 3 among fans. Every episode begins with the opening theme, Glorious Moment. Watch at your own risk. I think it's the most memorable theme out of all the anime openings, and it will get stuck in your head. In fact, it's still there now. Here is a small side note. This show is subtitled in English on the PakaTube YouTube channel as an attempt for Cygames to reach out to the US audience. Later that year at Anime Expo 2023 in Los Angeles, Cygames had a big booth with a giant monitor displaying the Road to the Top opening while they shared the booth with a streetwear company that was selling limited time drops of Uma Musume merch for up to $1,600 a piece. So it appears that they used this show to promote overpriced merchandise, not even in US sizes I might add, in a move that I can only describe as a lure for the whales. This left a bad taste in my mouth like an unrinsed carrot. What follows is a breakdown of Road to the Top, so spoilers, but also a bit of analysis of the characters. Fans tend to like this show a lot. I ran into many at conventions, and the one thing they kept asking me was, "Did you see Road to the Top?" The show is not without issue, however. In fact, Uma Musume anime storytelling as a whole is plagued by a familiar repetition. You can only make an anime about girls who try to win the same races over and over again interesting for so long. The showrunners also have to adhere to real life, so you can't just make up race history that doesn't exist in order to change things up, even though they take a few liberties here and there. So the one thing that can keep this franchise interesting, besides granular real-world comparisons that create a rabbit hole on their own, is the characters. And the characters in this show are kind of screwed up in the head. It's time for some therapy, both for these troubled characters and for me who decided to write a pretentious video about it. Episode 1. It starts with a sunset shot of some tribal or ancient structure, discussing how Uma Musume are born to run. There is also a horse girl Statue of Liberty in this universe, which made me laugh and cringe at the same time. I've mentioned before that the world building is incomplete and full of plot holes, but an origin story would be practically nonsensical because horses don't exist in this universe at all. The horse girls have simply replaced them. And somehow these horse girls have names of horses from our world, which technically doesn't exist. The narration says that we don't know how the races in the future will end. Well, according to this show, we don't know how they began either. It's a rainy day for the Yayoi show, and there are 2 announcers. There are some looped running animations and a cheering audience. Currently, second place Narita Top Road has enough time to look to the side and see her father watching. She says that she wants to live up to everyone's expectations as she tries to take the lead. Admire Vega is catching up, but she is running in this stiff animation and you can't see her legs very well from the front. It's almost off-putting. She thinks something in her head about winning for her dead sister's sake and moves into second. There are some cool low-angle shots, very nice. The announcer has this strange hopping animation. And Top Road is able to take the win here. They added a cold breath animation, which is nice, but in real life the Yayoi show takes place in March. Usually there are visible cherry blossoms at that point, and the temperature is around 57 degrees Fahrenheit or 14 degrees Celsius, and it wouldn't be that cold or rainy, but perhaps it was on that specific day in real life. The character drawings are smoother and a lot less flashy than the TV anime, but the lack of detail in the specific characters makes for more fluidity, especially in racing. There isn't the same shiny puffiness as in the Studio Kai animated seasons. Sometimes they get this blurry effect to simulate speed and a whole host of animation tricks. The catchy intro Glorious Moment starts and gets stuck in your head, and afterwards Top Road is training and has a slight stumble. She worries about how large of an arc she has to take, while her trainer father realizes that less is more and she should relax a bit and not train so hard. The Satsuki show is coming up and it will be her first race that she can win as part of the Triple Crown. We get some confident ear wiggles and tail jiggles. She thanks her trainer and we move to the school day. There are cameos by Rice Shower and Uharu Urara, King Halo, Special Week, and Seiyun Sky. Top Road is revealed as the class president, collects papers, and Admire Vega comments on her injury from her morning training, and she suddenly drags her out for repairs. Top Road tries to get some conversation out of the quiet, contemplative Vega before a quick yes and no answer, and then some light threatening aimed at Narita. She is not dissuade, however, and only has nice things to say about Vega's racing prowess. This establishes the happy-go-lucky personality of Top Road and the quiet, moody, and overly serious Admire Vega. An awkward handshake and we cut to the trainer revealing racing footage on a laptop. There is a flashback showing a young Top Road training despite some awkward footwork. Isn't she cute? They show some horse mothers with their daughters. This is proof that older horsewomen exist and have families with human men, which is pretty much common knowledge among fans, but it's nice to see it here. Young Top Road wins her race and her trainer compliments her hard work, even despite being a bit rough and having some nerves that hinder her training a bit. Some news headlines and we cut to TM Opera O, who is doing very well in her current race. She wins and exhibits a cold sweat. Top Road's shoes adorn the commercial break. Flashback to 2 months ago when Opera is training with adorable partner Meisho Doto, who doesn't know how to use the time clock. Her character is a klutzy mix-up with Opera O, who seems to have it confidently together. Opera O spouts references to La Traviata, which is an Italian opera in 3 acts by Giuseppe Verdi. She says that a race without her would be like La Traviata without the main character, the Parisian courtesan Violetta. It's a very shoehorned-in reference. She could have used just about any female character in the 400 years of opera that exist. It's also dumb because she's basically comparing herself to a high-class prostitute. Opera O continues to be very theatrical and confident, which is a nice character turn and makes her stand out from the other more traditional characters. Current day at the lunch hall. She wanders around and finds the gluttonous Oguri Cap enjoying lunch that she probably stole from 10 people. They have lunch together, but not before Oguri clears her a spot. Oguri also shows off her skill of talking with her mouth full of food and being 100% understandable at the same time. Opera is going to enter the Satsuki show and has been training to enter. She won't let her injuries stop her. I also like how both voice actors have nice deep voices.
次のレースは決まっているのか？
無論皐月賞さ。そのために僕は過酷なローテを乗り切ったのだから。
Which is not topped until possibly by the voice actor for Sounds of Earth in Season 3.
北さんブラック。私がサウンズ・オブ・アースだ。
Back at the dorms, Vega is rooming with Kuran-chan, who is brushing her lovely tail as Vega decides to take a cold night run and makes a promise to someone, we know who, that she will win. Top Road shadow races Vega in front of her trainer and classmates. The Satsuki show begins, the first race of the classic Triple Crown series. It's raining, but at least the merch shop is open. There are some nice overhead shots as the race begins. There are pull-ins and pull-outs from the camera, and lots of sweat/rain bubbles. A cool-looking foot plant as Top Road speeds up, only to notice that Opera is overtaking her. Not even screaming loud can save Narita from losing to Opera by only a bit. This is like Fast and the Furious. Apparently Top Road is just a buster. Too soon.
Dude, I almost had you.
You almost had me? Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
The audience still likes her though, and she's not going to give up yet. We still have 3 more episodes. Episode 2. Episode 2 begins with Vega training in the morning, not really doing so well. Unlike the more positive Top Road, Vega beats herself up, but vows to do better at the Japanese Derby. People speculate on the race results as we are warped all the way to just 1 day until the race. The people are speculating that since Narita is better on straightaways, that she will have an advantage. Reviewing the race shows some errors that were made from the trainer's perspective, like underestimating turns and not taking full advantage of the track itself. Opera is running uphill and making a reference that they are similar to the stairs at the Opera House in Paris. And then, surprise news media attack! Kuren-chan wants to have dinner with Vega, but alas, she's gone again. There are some nice scenes in the forest where Vega sets up camp for the night by herself. It's a new moon night and Vega can feel the presence of her dead sister. This twin sister, who tragically died at a young age, makes it hard for Vega to enjoy the process of racing. It's almost as if she's racing for two. It's as if the feelings of her sister are experienced through her as well. So it's up to her to run for her sister, to give her that chance she never had. This should be a positive thought, but it's the reason Admire Vega is so depressed and lonely all the time. If she loses, these feelings are magnified even more. If she wins, her sister beats her up for taking all the glory. She literally can't win. Vega compares herself to the others and has emotional feelings that manifest themselves in visions. This shot of her running in the light while Admire Vega herself is shrouded in darkness is nice. She makes a commitment to winning the Derby for both their sakes. In contrast, Top Road runs through the city and has the full support of the local businesses. You will see a similar sentiment between Kita-san Black and the local banana merchant in Season 3. Heads up! Top Road gets a special visit and pep talk from the cutest rice cooker ever, and the pink-haired one. Sorry, I just don't think Urara is cute as they parade her around to be. Top Road gets a lot of charms and then goes back to the track to work on that straightaway speed. Then as night falls, a sharing of water bottles, and all three girls get to make each other feel slightly uncomfortable in a I'm going to win, no, I am discussion. They want to be friendly rivals, but Admire Vega is gonna Vega and run off alone. The day of the Japanese Derby begins. There is some confident trainer pep talk, some stretching, and character descriptions for audience members who weren't paying attention and to build up the race. Narita doesn't have direct support other than her trainer, but the audience acts as that support. That and her two friends have just been added to that list. And of course, Opera has to make a scene that distracts the other girls, but Top Road is keeping her focus. They announced the names of the other girls who are racing, and sometimes the names are really funny. They mention a girl named Nautical Tool. What the heck, dude? It's okay to say that the names of certain horse girls are dumb, right? Nautical Tool, Tap Dance City, Sun Visor. I'm sorry, these are stupid names. Anyway, cool shot from below, and I do appreciate the varied shots that they use to avoid just using the same looped running animations over and over again. A cool eye zap effect, and Opera O makes a move. She pushes past everyone. Top Road has a bunch of flashbacks that we saw last episode, and she pushes up until Vega pushes up as well, but can't quite get there. More quick flashbacks, and it looks like Top Road is going to win. But then, with some overly accentuated looping and zooming effects, they are neck and neck. But even with a lot of running and screaming, Narita loses and Vega takes it. They show Vega's gloves that reflect her dual nature with her sister. Don't do it. Nope. Stop. Nope. Don't. You'll be okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Fine. Cry. there's still 2 more episodes. I'm sure you'll have a victory at some point. The show is named after you. Episode 3. The 3rd episode begins with Vega being happy, only to get sad when her sister makes her feel guilty for keeping all the celebration to herself. Man, she is troubled. There is a bus field trip, and Top Road seems troubled herself. A bit of beach fun should clear things up. Her trainer keeps telling her to relax, but she's stiff and it makes her race bad. Stubborn kids think they know everything, am I right? There is a reassuring head pat and Kuran-chan doing that thing that she likes to do. She's supposed to be a popular social media star on Umastagram. Now we have a nice hot tub scene with opera boobs. Top Road gets a surprise promotional banner. Man, pulling a tire on the sand must be hard. Then we get a cute walk by. It's nice to see Rice with a wardrobe change. That is why we like episodes where the characters go to new places. Also, Urara is holding some kind of carrot-themed superhero mascot akin to Sentai or something. Kuran has herself on her phone. Strange. Does anyone else think that Kuran-chan looks like she's wearing a headband with fake ears on it? Just me? Also, if you've seen Kuran-chan's default outfit, she looks like she's straight out of a Castlevania game. Kuran-chan predicts Vega's small meltdown while training at night, which happens with her sister pulling a passive-aggressive dig disguised as compliments. You know it's bad when you can't see a character's eyes. The next day, Top Road is busy running a ladder in the middle of nowhere, as she won't relax and take a break. Time to teach her some work-life balance stuff. So her trainer hatches a plan. Meisho Doto is holding 2 cans in front of her cans, and then a klutzy moment from her, which is endearing for some reason. Opera O starts a prideful rant from the lifeguard tower, but you better watch that ego, Opera O, cause karma comes in cans. Meisho Dodo tries to look for a napkin, but only finds a raccoon plush, her phone, a carrot, a fish charm, and then something plaid. It's hard to see. Even soda cannot help but overflow around me, Opera says. Man, she's fun, but a pompous prick at the same time. There are some more lines about her rivals. It's a lot of fluff, like Top Road must shine, and Vega is too close to the edge. It's more flowery language that doesn't make a lot of sense. Top Road is doing some training with the next generation of Umas, but they just want to see her do tricks. The sun comes out while she's running, and this little girl keeps her hand up the whole time. Also, this animation error. Top Road then says, "Get ready to zoom, everyone!" I guess that would look something like this. After training, Top Road has a smile on her face, but the trainer is pretty sure she is hiding some doubts. And she worries that her trainer is worried too. She finally admits that she's scared, that she'll let everyone down who put their trust and confidence in her. She also admits that she's scared of failure and she doesn't deserve the support of others. Man, that escalated quickly. Tell us how you really feel. Her trainer tries to instill some confidence that people still care about her regardless of how good she races. She cries a bit and they go together to a festival in her honor. All of the townsfolk come out to show Top Road how much they appreciate her. I mean, if free food and a cute rice shower doesn't make you happy, nothing will. They contrast this by having a dream sequence where Vega gets more passive-aggressive crap from her dead sister and starts to doubt herself and even her own possibly bad leg. But she decides that her sister deserves the glory. Seriously, make some friends or something! They fast forward to the next race where Top Road is struggling to get ahead around the final turn. The two are neck and neck again, but Vega takes the top spot in a repeat of the previous race. Top Road has clearly grown and doesn't cry this time. Her resolve increased. Her compliments towards Vega go unappreciated as her eye flares up, and she leaves to go to be alone again. I think we need a horse girl intervention. Episode 4. The Kukita show is our next race, and the 3 main characters are being interviewed. The ever-pompous and self-righteous Opera takes the center stage first and brags about her assured victory. I'll sit down! Top Road tells her trainer to do her a favor. We don't know what that is yet because they cut to the twin horse girl water statue so we can watch Vega beat herself up again because she's too good at racing. She is even going to treat her victory in the race as an offering to her dead sister. Seriously, is there a horse girl counselor on campus? Actually, there is in the game. There's like a nurse character. I guess she's not here right now. And then Top Road shows up and says that she's going to win, which shows that she is finally releasing all of her tension and finding herself. She also admits that defeating Vega is her goal. I know it's portrayed as a big deal, but really it's just a fancy version of I'm gonna win, no I am. This is anime. The characters need time to figure out their feelings before they can win, even if it takes 4 episodes. You're too bright, Vega says. Then move out of the light then. Look, I do know it's a metaphor for light. I do like the next line that Vega says, whenever you get close, I start losing sight of the stars. Vega doesn't want Top Road nearby. She is so stuck in her own struggle that she doesn't want anyone else getting in the way of her personal metaphysical relationship. The stars represent her connection to her sister. Having a friend would be a great idea and a possible solution, but as we've seen, Admire Vega is a person who fights with every ounce of her being to stay away from others so she can dwell in misery alongside the literal dead. Top Road stays in the literal and figurative light as she admits to having fun when racing Vega. Top Road is also very naive and doesn't understand Vega's feelings. In a way, like Vega, she too is stuck in herself. And that self is optimistic and hardworking, but she doesn't see far enough in front of her to see her friend who is suffering internally. I don't think beating a half-dead horse is going to work the way she thinks it is. Having a rival is not what Vega needs right now because she's already a rival with herself. After one last declaration of rivalry, Top Road finally walks off and Vega stands there with no response. I guess she'll be answering her in the race. The race is about to begin and the tension is mounting. We have a go get 'em tiger moment between coach and runner. Opera O then slaps the nerves out of Top Road and we move to the race, but not without more of the I'm gonna win, no I am, Vega included this time. They walk out together and the audience goes nuts. Everyone is running pretty close together as they start off. Rice Shower mentions that Top Road's pace is a bit slow, staying in third. Admire Vega thinks of her sister who can't run and it spurs her on. Yum. They move toward the elevated third turn, then the final stretch. Vega pushes first in a bit of a panic. Opera O is blocked in. Everyone yells Top Road's name as she rounds the corner, and she makes her move with the aid of a bunch of slow shots of her foot. She takes the front position, running while screaming with a speed cone in front. I appreciate the use of close-ups as Vega falls back, and a hopeless red filter surrounds her. She is entering flashback reflection land where time stands still. She has a vision where she runs alongside her sister and encourages Vega to just have fun running. This is a bit strange because in Vega's mind her sister was always being passive-aggressive. Maybe she's changing her tune here, or having a realization of some kind. It's really not clear. Vega sees a beautiful starry sky as her sister leaves, and then she reflects on what Top Road said about rivalry. I guess the giant shooting star represents Vega letting go, but what do I know? Then we have a nice transition into current time, where Opera O is making her move. Top Road's father cries, and we get a running while screaming zoom-in shot. The animation gets heavily stylized as Opera O and Top Road are neck and neck. The music swells, and Top Road is able to hold on to first. And unlike seasons 1 and 3 of the anime, where the final match is a blowout, Top Road barely takes the win here. It's a nice finish, finally granting her a major win and making the title of the show make sense. And then, stop crying. Vega has finally loosened up and Opera O finally acknowledges someone other than herself. Then the best shot in the video. Yep, this close-up of Meisho Doto is my favorite shot. Isn't she adorable? Time to pose for Umastagram. You've just worked out your personal issues and won the race of your dreams. What are you going to do now? Sing a concert, I guess. And get Admire Vega some therapy. That girl is still messed up. I don't think a positive vision of her sister and an ethereal shooting star can fix that. That's Road to the Top, a nice little show that is fun and has 3 characters in it. No, in all seriousness, the animation is smooth and they do some really cool things with motion and close-ups to make the races really good. The narrative is pretty standard, but the characters are interesting, at least on the first watch. But I like Opera O because she doesn't have to stop and think about how she feels every 2 seconds. All 3 girls are very memorable in their own ways, the show was well paced, and it was a treat for fans to see a high quality movie-like presentation that this provided. And it opened the door for more Western fans to see that the Horse Girls are a fun addition to any great anime series. This is Dan T of Twisted Metal Productions, reminding you not to keep everything inside yourself, let it out occasionally. It may save you having to go to some therapy.